Under the Posse Comitatus Act, the military may not engage in activities that constitute the exercise of regulatory, prescriptive, or compulsory military power that amount to direct active involvement in the execution of the laws, or that pervade the activities of civilian authorities. The court observes that Task Force 51 was expressly instructed that it could engage in certain law enforcement activities. Setting up protective perimeters, traffic blockades, crowd control, and the like. That instruction was incorrect. There is no exception to the Posse Comitatus Act for such conduct, and neither President Trump's memorandum nor Secretary Hexet's memorandum changed that. The record is replete with evidence that Task Force 51 executed domestic law in these prohibited ways. Indeed, Task Force 51 troops' conduct clearly qualifies as Posse Comitatus Act violations under the tests that courts used to apply the Act defendants' presence to bolster DHS and DEA operations and shows of force. Exercises regulatory, prescriptive, and compulsory power on the surrounding public, and their participation in operations in numbers that match or outnumber law enforcement agents pervade the activities of those civilian agents. This was intentional. Defendants instigated a months-long deployment of the National Guard and Marines to Los Angeles for the purpose of establishing a military presence there and in enforcing federal law. Such conduct is a serious violation of the Posse Comitatus Act. In fact, these violations were part of a top-down systemic effort by defendants to use military troops to execute various sectors of federal law, the drug laws and immigration laws, at least across hundreds of miles and over the course of several months and counting. Defendants' lack of cooperation with their state and local counterparts raises red flags. It also highlights the lack of any showing by defendants that state and local officials were unable or unwilling to execute the laws before defendants deployed troops to engage in typical law enforcement functions. Moreover, defendants violated the Posse Comitatus Act willfully. Defendants knowingly contradicted their own training materials, which listed 12 functions that the Posse Comitatus Act bars the military from performing. They did so while refusing to meaningfully coordinate with state and local officials, and they coached federal law enforcement agencies as to what language to use when submitting requests for assistance in an attempt to circumvent the act. These actions demonstrate that defendants knew that they were ordering troops to execute domestic law beyond their usual authority.